Hi, everyone. Good morning. Hello. We are going to be doing these adorable Valentines today. I'm so excited about these Valentines. I can't wait to show you. And they're a lot of fun. But I wanted to just greet you all, say hello. This is day 2 of our Love Fest, as we've called it. We're going to be doing some really fun things for Valentine's Day and just to celebrate love in the next 5 or 6 weeks running up to Valentine's Day. But I'm also going to pepper in some things for the Chinese New Year and winter and some other things. And I wanted to also tell you that I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I started it last night because I could only start it like at midnight. So, but what it is, we're going to be giving away this. Let me just get it. Oops, without turning it on. This is a Cricut Mini Easy Press. Easy Press Mini is the official title. And this is what it looks like. It works great on iron-on. It also works on infusible ink and other wonderful things that we would do. And if you are a sewer, this is great for sewing. But it's also just really good companion to an easy press. So I'm going to be giving one of these away in the next couple of weeks. And I want for you to put your name in so you can win it. And I will spend a little more time talking about it, but the idea is that there's a link and all you have to do is you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you've already subscribed, that's okay. All you have to do is comment and like one of the videos, one or more videos, and then also follow me on the Miss Rita to the Rescue page, and then you can have your name put in. And actually, if you do both things, you get two entries, okay? So that I'll publicize that a little bit more later today. I was going to do it yesterday. I actually had a little fall yesterday, so I'm a little bit banged up, but I'm okay. I was going to do it yesterday. I apologize for the delay. Anyway, how are all of you? It's sort of that time after the holidays where it's like it's not quite, it's like the holidays are over, but like life hasn't begun or something. I don't know how to express it, but I hope that you are, faring well, and you are going to be tuning in to watch, because we have some great projects coming up in the next month. And if you cannot catch it, definitely catch me on the replay, because the replay will have all of the videos there. So thank you for sharing, Penny. So I wanted to talk about Valentines, or we were talking like Love Fest, and I remember these cards. These are no glue cards. So this is a perfect project for your littles, your grandchildren, or whatever. Right, exactly. We are just catching our breath and trying to sort of reorient. As my mom would say, we're all a little discombobulated. I love that word. It's like whoever uses that word. Probably Joe Biden uses that word, but I don't know anybody else that does. But discombobulated. So anyway, these are great cards. They are no glue. And they consist of a front piece and this back piece that have these little tabs. I guess you could say these were like the original insert cards or something, but they just go, these little tabs are there, and you just take the corners and you put them in. And the great thing that I like about these is comes from a free image set. It's called Spring Holiday Cards, and there's actually some St. Patrick's Day and also Easter and spring cards in there. And what I would do, and I've done this before with my son, he's too old for it now, but I would cut these out and send these to school, just, you know, from Owen, happy Valentine's Day. They're just so cute, and they're easy, incredibly easy. And yes, before I get asked, you can, of course, do these on the other machines, but I wanted to show you how much fun it is to do them, especially if you're sitting down with, you know, again, with a granddaughter or grandchild, and or your particular littles, whoever they may be. I have one in my neighborhood, Avery, and she's been dying to craft with me, and I can't wait to have her over when it's okay to do that. But these are really simple. They just require a couple of pieces of paper. This is paper that I got last year. I'm going to show you what I'm using for paper. So this is paper I got as a hot buy from Michael's. So there's this one, which is all the solids, and then this one, which is a really cute patterned. I don't know if they are going to have this same one. I did check their website yesterday, and they do have a couple of really fun new Valentine's pads available, but they're not yet on sale. I have to wait until they're on sale. So I dug out these ones from last year, and I just pulled out a few sheets. This is 12 by 12. You could certainly do these on 8.5 by 11 inch. You just have to cut the paper to the correct size. So we're working on the Joy, so we're going to be using these long mats. I have 3 of them here. You can, if you just have one, that's fine. The only other thing you really need is maybe a scraper to scrape off your mat, and a couple pieces of paper. And that's it. So let me show you. We cut these pieces of paper in a 4.5 inch wide kind of a column. Excuse me. And so I used my personal trimmer for that. You don't need to use one from Cricut. You actually don't even need to use one of these, but I really like to do that, especially for the Joy. And so this paper, which is 12 by 12, hi Susan, is 12 by 12. So I'm going to cut it at the same width as one of the mats. So here is the mat. It's 4.5 inches wide this way, and my mats are 12 inches, although there are mats that come in 6 inches, okay? So you can do this for the larger mats or the smaller mats, and obviously this is specific to the Joy. So if you are doing this on an Explorer or on a Maker, you don't need to cut down the paper, but with the Joy, you'll have to do that. And I am just going to cut it at 4.5 inches, and I'm going to get 2 columns or 2 slices of 4.5 by 12, and then I'll have a little piece left over that I can save, which I will save for future use. So I have these 2 columns, and then of course I cut, so one for the front and one for the back. And on the back I did cut out some patterned paper. So this is the patterned paper that I cut out, and obviously these all just came from those 2 pads. So it's not like you have to go searching near or far for these. And frankly, I don't know if you've seen some of these what they call Valentines, but they're like tiny. And in fact, I want to show you when I first started doing these again yesterday, I started cutting them out, and I said, what? Why are these coming out so small? Now I want to just show you, this is the size that I want to show you how to cut, but this is the size that I was cutting them out yesterday, and I was like, why why are these coming out so small? This actually probably is the size of most Valentines or smaller. So if you wanted to cut them out this size, I'm going to show you how to do it. But I happen to like them in the larger size, so I'm going to show you how to do both, okay? Let's go to Design Space so that we can talk about it. So as I mentioned, you like the little ones? I don't know, Sarah. I looked at them and I was like, they're so small. Anyway, so I'm going to Design Space now. I'm using my iPad. However, you guys know that you can use whatever, either your laptop, your desktop, your iPad, or even your phone to work on Design Space, because there's a program for all of those. And we just have to download it and, you know, log in everything. So let's find these. There's a lot of them, and so there's a lot to choose from. We're going to go to, let me just move these out of the way so when we bring them in, we can see what we're going to get. Okay, so we're going to go to Image with the little plus sign down here. And that brings up this image search engine, which you could certainly search by all of the images here. But you know me, I like to be like a little more power search. So I happen to know that this grouping comes from an image set called Spring Holiday Cards. So I'm just going to go to Image Sets and I'm going to type in the word spring. And you'll see that you get quite a few image sets here for spring. And this is the one that we're going to be looking for. It's called Spring Holiday Cards, okay? And so we're going to look at these. So as I mentioned, the Spring Holiday Cards have things for Valentine's, but also St. Patrick's Day and spring, Easter, and some of them are a little bit like, I don't know, like I'm not sure that I would make them. These were obviously created like years ago, but like this one here for St. Patrick's Day, I don't know if you want to put a beer mug on a St. Patrick's Day card for a kid. But anyway, you know, that's up to you. Now, the ones that are my favorite for Valentine's Day are the Cute as a Bug, and then this Be Mine. But I love this one, Totally Yours, Happy Valentine's Day. And you'll notice that they have the backing to them. So once you click on them, they'll come in with both the front and the back, okay? The other thing I want to mention about this particular, which actually it seems to have disappeared. Interesting. It used to be that you'd also get in here some envelopes, but I never found these envelopes useful. So I guess, I don't know, they took them away. But anyway, so what we want to do is to find the ones that you want. So I'm going to choose the Be Mine and the Happy Valentine's Day and Cute as a Bug. And let's try You Rock. Okay, let's try that. So we have 4 of them that come in here. And so I'm going to insert them right here. Now you'll see these are my other ones. So I'm going to just move them over. You see they come in rather small. And so we're going to resize them. So to work on the Joy allows for one of the, as you know, one of the parameters, whether it be the height or the width, to be 4.5 inches. I'm sorry, 4.25 inches. Okay. So 4.25 inches, when you're resizing them, one of the parameters have to be 4.25. So yesterday, when I first started doing this, wasn't thinking, I decided to make the smaller of the 2 parameters 4.25 inches, and so that ended up was it the smaller or the bigger of the 2, I should say, and that ended up with it being smaller. So I want to show you how to resize these, and I'll show you both ways. Okay, so let's talk about this one here in particular. So this Be Mine. So I am going to go here. It's Edit. right? So down on edit, what it comes up is it shows the width of 3.11 and a height of 2.48. So roughly 3 by 2.5. So you can do it either way, but one of the measurements cannot exceed 4.25. So if you, for instance, chose the width as being 4.25, and I just click on the width and did 4.25, like this, you'll notice that the height comes in at 3.31. They change proportionately, okay? But if we take this one and we change the, if we change the width, in this case to 4.25, it will change it so that it's bigger. So that's how you do the two separate sizes. So you want to do it small, you're going to change it to be the larger one to be 4.25, making the height 3.39. Or if you want to do it larger, you can make the width, in this case, it's the width 4.25, so it's the greater of the two, and then the height becomes 5.34. I hope that that is easy to explain. I'm not terribly good at explaining proportion or aspect ratio. So just know that when these come in, you will probably want to resize them. And by resizing them, if you're working on the Joy, one of the two measurements needs to be 4.25. And depending on which of the two measurements you choose, that is going to affect what you end up with, okay? So in this case, let's go ahead and resize this Cute as a Bug one. And yes, you can use this open pinching method, but I like to use down here. So I'm going to make the width 4.25, and it will automatically, let me get back here, will automatically make my Cute as a Bug bigger than this small one, Be Mine, because I've made this size, the width 4.25. Does that make sense? So I'll do the same thing here with Happy Valentine's Day. So I made the width 4.25, and so in this one, I'm going to make the height, the larger, 4.25. Okay? So that is how you get the different sizes, okay? Now, when you're going to cut these out, one thing that I will caution you about is that the colors sort of matter with cutting them out. And I say that just simply because when you're cutting out these paper, you probably want to do all the fronts in like a solid and all the backs into a pattern, but these are all different. So see, this one came in as aqua, and this one came in as pink with the background with red at the front. This is pink front ground, background of red, and this one is the same as the Be Mine. Right? So what I want to do is I want to conform them all so that they're going to cut out the way that I want to cut them out instead of having the machine determine because of the color. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something called sync. Okay? Sync. Now, I want to, let me just do something here. I'm going to hide these ones because I don't want to have this interfering with this. Okay. So I want to have all of the fronts be with the same color and all the backs be the same color. And that way I control the color that I'm putting in the machine. I hope that that makes sense. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use something called Sync. It's right here. Now, if you are working with an Explorer or a Maker, this is the same thing as Color Sync. Okay? So Color Sync and Sync are the same, and you would click on that, and let Let me get it to open. Okay, and then you get on the right-hand side this bar. And what it does is it breaks this down by color, okay? So you'll see that I have the blue, I have 2 color reds and 2 color pinks. I want to just have maybe a red and with blue background, or a pink with a red background, or something like that. But I need to clean this up, because otherwise when I go to cut it, I'm going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mats, okay? And I don't want to do 5 mats. I'd rather just do like maybe 2, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. In the iPad, what I'm going to do is I'm going to determine, all right, I want all of the backgrounds to be blue. Let's do that. And I want all the fronts to be red. Okay, the same color red. So here's the red, here's the blue. So I'm going to take this second red and I'm going to pull it down, and I'm starting to change the colors, or change the items that are done in that color. So here's another one that is a front, and I'm going to make it red. Okay. Now this one here is a back. I'm going to make that aqua color. Same here. I'm just hitting this 3 like line hamburger type of thing, and putting them into categories. I do color sync a lot, because a lot of times there are just like different gradients that some of the designers do, and that I don't want to be fussing with such small pieces. And here's a really good example. So here we go. So now you notice on my screen, all of my pieces are in the blue background, or the aqua black background. And all of the reds the fronts are in the red coloring. Okay. So now when I go to cut these out, these will all come up as having the same background, the same front. Okay. You can do this on your laptop, or because I'm getting, okay, you guys, we're getting questions about, can you do this also on your computer or your laptop? And you absolutely can do that, but obviously not touch screen. It's called Color Sync, and it will be on the top right. You'll see that there are 2 tabs. You'll have the layer tab, and then you'll have the color sync tab. Just click on the color sync tab and you'll get something like this. And you either, depending on if you have a touch screen or if you have a mouse, you would just move them to the colors that you want to move. Okay. So it's color sync with a laptop or a desktop, or if you're using like the iPhone or a mobile device, it's just called Sync. And it's down here next to Edit. You see that? Sync. Okay. And it looks a lot like Layers, but it is actually slightly different. Okay. So here we go. I have now made it so that all 4 of my images are the same background and the same front ground. Now, it doesn't mean that I have to cut them out with these colors. It's just a way of sort of standardizing it when you go to cut it, okay? So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to also turn my other ones on again. So when we go to cut them, we're all the same size, okay? And, all right, so let's see. Here we go. So I have Cute as a Bug. Whoops. What do I want to do? Undo that. So I have You Rock, Cute as a Bug, Be Mine, Happy Valentine's Day, Totally Yours, and, okay. So let's get rid of the smaller ones, just simply because it'll be easier. And I have 2 of these, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me hide this one. And if you want, I can give you the link for this project. Although I have been having trouble with sharing links lately. And so sometimes people are having trouble, and so bear with me on that because I did report that as a bug. Okay, so here we go. We have 4. 2 of them are vertical and 2 of them are horizontal, or 2 are landscape, 2 are portrait, and we're going to cut these out using the Joy. So yes, of course, cute as a bug is Gracie Junebug's favorite. Yeah, that would be definitely a Gracie Junebug Valentine. Okay, so now we're going to cut it out with our Joy. So we have to make sure of 2 things. One, I need to make sure that my Bluetooth connection is connected to my Joy, and that's for any type of device that you use, whether it's your hard drive or I keep saying hard drive, whether it's your desktop or it's your iPhone, you have to make sure that the Bluetooth is connected. And then also you need to make sure that you have your machine selected at Joy. Okay, so I have my machine selected at Joy, and I'm just going to check out in my Bluetooth settings, which is in the regular settings area. I'm going to make sure that my Joy is connected, and it is, okay? And go back to here, and we're going to hit Make It. All right, now we get a choice. Do we want to do this without a mat, or on a mat, or on a card mat? Now, we're not doing a card mat, even though this is a card, because that's for pre-folded cards. And without a mat is just for smart materials, remember? So these are not smart materials, they're paper. So we have to choose mat. We choose mat. And what we'll see is we will see all of our Valentines come up on the smaller mat. You can change this to be on the larger mat simply by going to this square. You see here that square has an 8 in it. And so that's the number of mats we're going to cut on. So we're going to click on that, and it will bring up all of the mats. You see? So here are all the mats. There's 8 of them. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the material size here to the 12-inch length. And what that does for that particular color is it changes it so that, boom, we now have, instead of 8, we have 6 mats. And then let's go back there and we'll do the same thing for the aqua. And now we have 2 mats. Okay, so that a total of 4. So we have reduced the number of mats by, what is that? Half? By half. And so here we have 2 on here, 2 on here, 2 on this one, the aqua, and 2 on this one. So we're going to hit continued. And now we're ready to cut. And we're going to cut from medium cardstock. So I'm going to choose that as my material. But if you wanted to cut different things, here you go. You'd go to all materials and you could see this is where you would choose. Now I have medium cardstock as a favorite, so that's why that star appears there. And then it's checked, meaning that is what I'm going to use for my material. And what you'll also get here is this little square that says remember material settings. I would definitely recommend that you check that off, okay? That's just simply so you won't have to choose the material every single mat, okay? Okay, so now we've got to get our mat set up. So here's what I've got. I've got my pre-cut paper here, and I've got, this is a pattern. I've got a couple of different patterned pieces. So that's going to be where our blue, the aqua ones, right? And so let's choose 2. Let's choose this one. And we're going to just put it on the mat like this. It's cut at 4.5 inches, remember, and it's 12-inch paper. Now, if you are having problems with your mats not being sticky enough, you can re-stick the mats, and I've told you that before, but I will just mention it again, and that is done by using a double stick tape, and you can also clean your mats as well, especially if you cut a lot of paper. It gets like paper lint. This is what I use for the two-way or double stick. It's a two-way glue. It's called Zig Memory System two-way glue. You can find this on Amazon. It has like a chisel tip, and it's a blue glue, and then you would put it on here, allow it to dry before you put your paper on, and that will give it that stick. Okay, that's what that is. So I'm preparing 2 of these here, and then I'm going to take 2 more with my plain paper, my plain cardstock, and do the same thing. But I only have 3 mats, so I'm going to just prepare the 3. Whoops. I'm just going to prepare the 3. And then I'll do this one afterwards, okay? So now I have my 3 mats. Let's go back to Design Space, okay? And let's see. So we're going to cut them. Now, if I wanted to cut the backgrounds first, I could do that, or I could choose, if I wanted to cut these ones first, I could definitely do that as well. So let's cut these first, this one here with the pink. And so I'm going to take my Joy, which is already blinking, ready to go. And I'm going to put it in underneath these little guides. Make sure you get them under the guides, or you get it under the guides, and it's going to take in and make sure that I have the entire, like I have the correct size mat. And then all that's left to do is to hit go. You see here, right down here, hit go. And it will start to prepare and then start to cut out our Valentines. And so when we get that done, we'll put in for the background, and we can show you how that goes. So I hope everybody is with me at this point. Remember, just a couple of things. One is you do not have to do this on the Joy. If you have an Explorer or a Maker, you can do this on that. You don't have to worry about the paper size by cutting the paper, but you could use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. The paper that I'm using was from Michaels last year, but I know that they have a few new ones coming out because I checked their website. I also use this. This is called Zig Memory System two-way glue. This is what I use to keep my mats nice and sticky so that my material doesn't move around. And then also I'm using this on the iPad, but you don't need to use your iPad with your Joy. You can also use your laptop or your desktop or even your phone. And you just have to make sure you're using the correct software. Okay. I'm trying to think if there are any other little tips to know. I think that's probably it. Oh, these all came from Spring Holiday Cards, which I found by going image search, and I searched spring and came up with Spring Holiday Cards. So let's see. It's cutting, and it's almost done with this first mat, which I'm going to get 2 fronts of the cards on this mat. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's see what my friends are talking about. So, Dawn, I saw a banner that we were actually going to do called Happy Valentine's Day. I don't know if you guys are fans of Parks and Recreation, which is a TV show starring Amy Poehler. She had on Valentine's Day, she had on Valentine's Day something called Galentine's Day, which was like a Valentine's Day for her friends, her gal pals. And so I did see a Happy Valentine's Day banner, and I thought that we could do that coming up. And so I've seen that, but I haven't seen anything else that said Happy Valentine's Day. I suppose we could make it, you know. Okay, so the score 1 and 2 do not work on the Explorer. That, I don't know the answer. Guadalupe is asking about scoring. She's asking if the score 1 and 2 do not work on the Explorer. Oh, you're talking about the scoring wheel. Yeah, yes. Scoring wheel does not work on the Explorer, but you can use a scoring stylus, okay? So my mat is done. We're going to unload it, and we can have a look at what we've done. I'm going to just peel off the extra paper. And then I'm just going to really just gently peel off the front of my card. And you'll notice that we have like little pieces. I'll show you how to clean that off. But here it is. I've got this one. It still has the eye in there. I just have to poke that out. And here's Cute as a Bug. And that's just really cute, right? And so to clean them off, I use this, which is a scraper. You don't have to use this, but I find it super helpful. So here I go, scraping this off and getting prepared. Since I only have 3 mats, I needed a 4th mat, remember? So here we go. I'm scraping it off there, and I'm going to take my next piece of paper and get it on here. Okay. Now let's cut out some backs. So I'm going to use a patterned piece, and I'm going to put it underneath the little guides here. It's loading on my screen. I'm going to make sure I'm cutting the correct one. So these are the backs, and they're all set to cut. So I'm going to hit go. And, you know, these are just fun. You could do this in an afternoon. And again, no glue, just a lot of fun. You don't have to have a little person with you to do these. I think these are really adorable. And personally, I would love to have these, you know, sent to me. I think that it would just be a whole lot of fun to have these sent to me. So maybe that makes me kind of a kid, but that's just it. So here our backs are being cut, and you'll notice that the backs have these little tabs here, very similar to the insert cards on all 4 corners. And unload. And it's the same process. Remove the excess. And then here are our backings. And they have these little tabs here. So then you just take your cutout and you put it through the tab. That's it, folks. And you could make yourself dozens of these little things that you could send. You can put it here. You don't necessarily have to do it in the backing like this. You could certainly figure out a way. I could figure out a way to put this on a regular card and send it as a card, but I just like them, and they're so much better than the offerings for Valentine's that are out there. I don't know if you've seen them. You've been in Walgreens or CVS. I mean, they come in a teeny tiny box, and they're like literally like this big, and you're lucky if they have even like a closure. They don't have envelopes anymore. They just have a little like a closure tab or something. So this is just a fun project, and I thought that I would share it with you. We'll do them again for St. Patrick's Day and for Easter, but I wanted to just alert you to them here. Let's see, coming up tomorrow we're going to be doing excuse me, a love card, another love card. We'll be doing that on the Maker. So we're going to be doing that Yeah, you could certainly change out the colors. You don't need to use these very traditional Valentine's colors. You could do, I actually have cut this in black. It looks really interesting. I like it in the black. It's a nice contrast. I did this on as white, and I did a red front, and there's another white one. So, depending on the size you choose, look at all the different options you have. I tend to call these the mix and match version. So that's what these are. And I hope you give them a try. And if you do, definitely post the images there. Okay, so that's it for today. That went quickly. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope to see you again tomorrow. And don't forget to check back for the little video I'll do about the mini giveaway, which is the mini Easy Press. And it's a $70 retail value, and I'm giving one away as long as you follow me both on Miss Rita to the Rescue Facebook page and also my corresponding YouTube page. If you already follow me, please just comment and or share, like, whatever, any of the videos, and what my goal is to try to get more people to come and see our daily videos, or to come and watch the videos on YouTube. So that's what I'm trying to do there, and we're going to run that for a couple weeks. Thanks everybody for coming today. I'll see you again tomorrow, and we're going to have another great love fest project going. All right, everyone, have a great day.